Evening, this is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Waterville City Council. There are agendas available in the file pockets near the entrance or online on the City of Waterville's website. All items appearing on the consent agenda are voted on in one motion and vote. Generally, these items are routine in nature and do not require discussion. All items listed under unfinished business or new business are voted on separately. First, councilors will be given an opportunity for comments or questions. Once all councilors have had an opportunity to speak, citizens will be given an opportunity for comments or questions. Citizens must speak and identify themselves. Each citizen will be allowed one opportunity to speak and will be limited to 3 minutes. Finally, the councilors will be given another opportunity to speak or comment. Citizens who would like to speak on a topic that does not appear on tonight's agenda will have an opportunity to do so at the end of the meeting under the public comments section of the agenda. Pledge of Allegiance. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Play ball. All right, disclosure of conflict of interest. Seeing none, I'm going to move on. Council committees. Anything to report? All right, moving on to city manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. I have several things I want to report on tonight. First of all, the South End paving is progressing nicely. We've had some communication problems with the neighborhood residents that we're ironing out at this point so that people know when things are going to be happening in their area. It's been a little bit bumpy, not the roads, but the communication, and it's getting better. The North Street tennis and basketball courts have been resurfaced. The fencing is going up around the tennis courts now. Everything looks fantastic out there. What's going to come next is the markings on both of the courts. One of the nice things about the work that was done is that the company that did it specializes in outdoor courts of this sort, and the surface is so flat that there was almost no puddling during this recent rain. And that's pretty good work. The EMS operations out of the fire department are being capably handled. We're averaging plus or minus 10 transports daily. The new staff, additional EMTs that are approved in this budget, will begin signing on by the end of this month. We've been holding off for the offers for hire until we got past this meeting in case there had been any kind of referendum issue coming up regarding the budget. So it's full speed ahead at this point, and we'll staff up very quickly. Things coming up in August and a little bit later. First, the airport TIF will be coming to you for renewal. A first vote on August 2nd, a second vote on August 16th, and that'll be followed by a proposal to redefine the TIF boundaries. I pulled together a team of economic development people within the city and the Central Maine Growth Council. We met with the airport manager a couple of weeks ago and did a lot of brainstorming about what that airport TIF needs to look like in the future. But before we get to that point, we're going to put it before you just to extend the 20 years out to 30 years, and then we'll come back with a proposal to redefine what it looks like. Then we also have the next two items on the drawing boards, a land bank proposal that's designed to assist homeowners with property maintenance and to also rehabilitate vacant and abandoned buildings for reentry into the housing market. That's something that Councilor Green has been advocating, and we're beginning to get legs under it at this point. And then finally, a rental properties registration proposal will be coming to you sometime in the early fall, I believe, that is designed to create a database so that the city knows where the rental properties are that number more than 2 units. And based on that, we can get accurate contact information for tax purposes, for emergency response, and also for code violation purposes. That's my report for tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where are we at with Mulberry Lane? What's the
Mulberry
latest
Lane,
on that?
just as a refresher, Mulberry Lane is a dead-end street that is over in the Seton Village area. It was not constructed to city standards all the way through, and there are 3 homes on the end of Mulberry Lane that still have a gravel road in front of them. They own that road, by the way, and our city engineer has been working with them to gain ownership, I guess, for the city of the property. And the people have to deed what would be the right-of-way over to the city, and then we can go about constructing the street, drainage, et cetera, that would make it an acceptable street. And once you accept it, then we maintain it, we plow it, et cetera. We plow it now, by the way, but we just plow to the end and leave a pile there. At last count, or last estimate, it was going to be just short of a $40,000 project to do that work. This is something that Councilor Foss brought up, almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's been all tangled up in ownership issues and claims of a variety of natures that I think we've finally gotten clear of. And we see a path to get this done, but the onus now is on the property owners. They need to be willing to deed the land over to the city, and once they do that, then it's up to the council to fund the project.
Okay.
We've given no guarantees, by the way, to the property owners, but only told them that they can set the stage by their willingness to deed the land over to the city.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
No.
All right, moving on to consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, I have an amendment for the consent agenda.
Okay.
Sarah, could you help me out with that?
Yes. We need to amend the minutes from the June 21st and the June 28th. It's the first and second votes of the budget order 142-2022 from 7-0 to a 6-1, and that's to reflect Councilor Frankie's vote in opposition.
Beautiful. So moved.
Second.
Can I get a roll call on that?
Councilor DeBrito?
Yes.
Councilor Klepak? He's on.
Yes.
Councilor Green?
Yes.
Councilor Foss?
Yes.
Councilor Frankie?
Yes.
Councilor McCormick?
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Move as amended.
Second.
Roll call?
Counselor,
This is for the whole consent agenda then?
Yes, this
Yeah.
would be the whole thing.
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, moving on to old business. Ordinance 120.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to make a motion to read the entire agenda by title only. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Second.
Roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yes.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, moving on to old business. 126-2022.
Amend the personnel policy to reflect the comprehensive benefit and salary study 2022.
Move to adopt.
Any discussion?
Got a second.
Oh,
Second.
now do we have any discussion? Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepek?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Moving on to new business. Resolution 156, 2022.
Move to, oops, sorry. We're a mess tonight.
It happens.
Authorize issuance of a vitulers license to Harvest Moon Holdings LLC, doing business as Harvest Moon Deli.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Do we have anybody here from Harvest Moon? You want to tell us about it? This is your shameless plug. I'm giving it to you right now.
30 seconds of your time. Thank you, first of all, for putting me on the top of the agenda. I appreciate that. First of all, can I ask if anyone has any questions about what we're doing?
Yeah.
Needs to turn on his mic.
Oh, pick it, hello? Can you hear me, or do you need me to turn this on?
Chad's going to help you, bub.
All right. Thank you. I wrote something already.
I mean, this is going to be an easy one. They had me at food.
Thank you. So our company's called Harvest Moon Deli. We have been operating, our first store was in Orono in 2007. We now operate 6 Harvest Moon Delis around the greater Bangor area, and it's always been our intent to try to move south at some point, and this is our most southern store. We love what's going on in Waterville, Main Street, and other places around here, and we're very excited to be a part of the community. I believe we enjoy a good reputation as business people and as an establishment and as an employer in the areas that we operate. And I'm open to, we do paninis, soups, salads. It's very quick service, casual kind of restaurant concept. And we're going to be at 295 KMD, which is Penny Hill Plaza. And hopefully if all goes well, we may be sitting here in front of you again a year or two from now and looking for a second unit.
Waterville pizzas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were just clarifying where Penny Hill Plaza is.
Oh,
but-
yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions about what we're planning on doing or
When
has
do you
any-
open?
Pardon me?
When do you open?
Ooh, that's a good question. We're hoping for very early September.
Okay.
Well, September 1st is my birthday, so if you do it then,
Mayor likes to eat too.
I think
so,
we're leaning
you know,
toward the
just saying.
4th after that long weekend.
that'll
but-
be all right.
Yeah,
I'll
come
be there
in.
for food.
You'll be the first one to get a birthday sandwich.
I will be there.
Are we allowed to do that with the
No,
mayor?
I'll pay for mine.
Okay.
You know, I'm a pay forward kind of person, so I'll pay for the next person's too.
Perfect. We enjoy
You might
that.
buy
We
everything on the
appreciate
menu.
it.
I may buy everything on the menu. You know how I am.
You got to call me, so I'm the next person in line.
We appreciate it, and we're very open to hearing about how we're doing. So if anyone on the council or otherwise hears anything good or bad, we'd like to hear about it. We'd like to fix it. So
Appreciate it. Thanks for joining our community.
thank you very much. I appreciate to be here.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Anybody else have questions before we let them go? All right.
I'm excited.
We're about to find out. Any further discussion? Oh, Steve.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What brings you to Waterville?
Oh, now we got to have you back up on
Yeah.
the mic.
You mean me personally?
No,
The business.
your business.
Because of how well we're doing in Waterville. He
Downtown.
did. He already said that.
I've actually I've been around the Waterville area for a while, coming from Orono to see friends down here. I like the food scene here a lot, actually. There's a lot of really good restaurants, and people seem to really enjoy good restaurants here in Waterville. And there's just a lot going on here. It's got a great community. I think we'll be received well by both the college community and also the full-time residents here.
It's not a bad spot either.
I
Yeah.
hope not.
No, you'll be all right over there.
Thank you.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, we all promote each other.
And
Yeah,
yes, we
thank
do.
You know, we think it's a great community. We're hoping for, honestly, we try to open small clusters, and we have a small cluster of stores in the Bangor area. And we believe that if things go well, this could be the start of a small cluster of Harvest Moon Delis in this part of Maine as well. Hopefully a couple in Waterville and perhaps a few in Augusta area if all goes well. So
Excellent.
We'll help you get
Awesome.
there. Any further discussion? Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito? Yes. Counselor Klepak?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Done deal. You got it. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Good luck.
Absolutely, you're good.
I love food.
Moving on to Resolution 157, 2022.
Vote for Maine Municipal Association's Legislative Policy Committee representative for Senate District 16.
Move to adopt.
Second.
What is this?
I know.
Go ahead, Steve.
This is an unusual situation. Normally, the people who were put up for election to the Legislative Policy Committee of MMA are nominated by their municipality. For some unknown reason, that didn't happen coming out of Fairfield this year. And as a result, Michelle Flewellen, the town manager in Fairfield, has asked the surrounding communities if all of you would cast your vote for her to be a member of the LPC. She is currently a member of the LPC and wishes to continue, and I strongly endorse her candidacy.
I like Michelle. She does good work over there.
Michelle, didn't we interview her? Oh, sorry.
By the way, Waterville has 2 seats on the LPC. This seat that she would occupy is for the entire Senate district.
All right. Any other discussion? Can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Moving on to Resolution 158, 2022.
Adopt a hazard mitigation plan for Kennebec County.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Steve.
This is a countywide hazard mitigation plan that is focused on environmental hazards, actually probably weather-related hazards more than anything else, earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, various things of that nature. It's required by federal law in order to be eligible for FEMA funding in the event that these kinds of disasters impact our communities. We have 7 projects that are listed for this particular plan. They're all drainage improvements that would help stem backup flooding in culverts and bridges that we have in the city.
That works. Any other discussion or any discussion?
You tell us which ones these are, where these projects are going to be?
I can.
Got to start looking for funding, or is this something
There-
that they're going to be helping us with?
Yeah. There's a ditch on Drummond Road and a 50-foot culvert there. On County Road, there's another culvert that is 48 inches. On West River Road, there is a project here to upsize an 18-inch culvert to a 3-foot by 2-foot box culvert. On West River Road at Abenaki, there's a culvert upsizing and ditching required. On Paul Avenue, there's drainage work that is needed. On 8 Rod Road, there's a culvert replacement at the south end of 8 Rod Road. And then on Upper Main Street, there's another culvert upsizing and replacement. In total, there are about $200,000 in projects here.
Is this stuff we're going to have to pay for, or is this the federal stuff that they're going to throw money at us?
Well, we're going to use this list to access federal grants to the extent that they're available. But if we don't have this list in the mitigation plan, then these projects would not be eligible for FEMA and related funding. Anything that's on this list that becomes a high risk for immediate need, we will address.
Councilor Green.
And Steve, is this something that the county is monitoring as well through the plan?
It
Or-
is, it's very similar to the transportation improvement plan that KV Cog does on an annual basis, where they collect all information from all of the municipalities and the Council of Governments to put together a plan that then goes to the Federal Highway Administration, identifying various highway projects that are in need of getting done over some period of time. And if you're not on that plan with a project, then you just don't get FHA funding. So this is setting that stage, and yes, the county will be monitoring it. The county will be a major part of informing the people or the communities that have adopted this plan as to when funding is available and what it's for.
Great.
Anyone else? Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Sorry, looking for the button, yes.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, moving on to Resolution 159, 2022.
Approve airport land lease rates.
Move to adopt.
Second?
Steve?
I would ask that the council postpone this item to the second meeting. I would ask that the council postpone this item to the second meeting in August so that we can put together more background information as well as a short-term development plan for the airport that would include a total concept for hangar development.
So moved.
Second?
Could I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yep,
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yep.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Moving on to Resolution 160, 2022.
Declare a vacancy for Ward 1 City Council.
Move to adopt.
Second?
Counselor Morris's old seat. Any discussion? Can I get a roll call? Oh, sorry, Steve, go ahead.
This is a ministerial act on your part. The charter requires that you declare a vacancy when one occurs.
Not gonna get a roll call.
Flavia, oh.
You do, wow, you're just,
How's your night going anyway? Just asking.
Yes.
You're having a very short meeting, aren't you, Flavia?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
thank you, yes.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Flavia, before we move on, you wanna change seats with Sarah?
I think that would be easier.
Resolution 161, 2022.
Declare a vacancy for Ward 5 City Council.
Move to adopt.
Second.
And this is Rick's seat, because Rick's done at the end of the month.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Okay, so just to clarify, this is the seat, the vacancy is happening now, but then it's also a regular Ward 5 election? Is that
Yes.
right?
It's still a special election because they're going to have to fill his seat in November.
Okay.
Right, so you'll canvass and then fill the seat with whoever's elected, right then and there. You won't wait till January to fill the seat.
Right, okay. And the same would apply to Ward 1?
Yes.
Because it's vacant? Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
But we'll still be vacant until the election in November in 5, is that right? So there'll only be
Correct.
6 of us until November?
5.
5.
5, yeah, okay, right.
Can we let Patty speak? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The Ward 1 seat will be a special election because that seat was not up for election this year. So the election will be 2 elections for Ward 1. One for a special election to fill a 2-month term from November, right after the election, till January, when the organizational meeting is. And then the regular seat will be in the regular elect, then there will be no regular election. That will be the remainder of the term. It's the Ward 5 seat that needs, wow, it's confusing. So Ward 5 is a regular election, but it will be vacant. So you need a special election for Ward 5 for 2 months. And then the regular seat is voted on in November. The Ward 1 seat is a special election for the remainder of Mike's term, which is 2 years.
How's that gonna play out on the ballot, Patty, for 5?
Yep. The ballot for Ward 5 will have city council vote for 1 2-month term, and it will have candidates and a write-in. And then it will have city council 3-year term, vote for 1 and a slate of candidates.
Boy, if that's not a hot mess.
So
I know.
So somebody can win for 2 months and not get the seat in January.
Yes.
Correct, but that's the only way, that's the only mechanism to fill that interim seat, because the charter clearly states that someone elected by regular election doesn't take their seat until January. A special election can take their seat immediately after the canvassing of the votes, right after the election.
Seems like a charter revision might be in order for a
Well,
situation
the whole
like this.
fact that we can't appoint members to the council is kind of playing out currently, that we're gonna have a situation where we're only gonna have 5 councilors for several months, and we don't have the ability to appoint a member or members, and we don't have time to call a special election because I'm gonna be running an election starting September 6th. So, you know, and it's almost impossible, I would say. It'd be very difficult to run 2 elections at one time. So, yeah, this is the fallout from the charter change, where we don't have the ability to appoint members by the council.
Patty, I already know the answer to this, but most of the public probably does not. What happens, so we're going to be down to 5 counselors for the first meeting in August. What happens if we lose one more?
Well, I did speak with Bill Lee about that, because it's certainly a remote possibility. So according to Bill, when there are extenuating circumstances like that, there is law that would probably be used or referenced to allow for the government to continue operation. So he's aware of it. He's kind of, it's on the periphery that he'll look at it if we need to, but he says he doesn't want to worry about it yet. So.
All right.
Everyone stay safe.
Anybody else got question? All right. Sarah, can we get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yes?
But your head was shaking no.
It was a
Oh,
very tentative yes.
it took me a minute to process what we were actually voting on there.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
That felt so wrong, but whatever.
Can I veto that and make him have to come back for August meeting? All right. Moving on to Resolution 162, 2022.
Authorizing a special municipal election to be held on November 8th, 2022, to fill vacancies for Ward 1 and Ward 5 City Council.
Move to adopt?
Second.
Any discussion? Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Moving on to Order 163, 2022.
Authorizing a referendum election to be held on November 8th, 2022.
Move to adopt?
Second.
Any discussion? Steve, can you give us some background?
Yes. This referendum election is being held to make certain amendments to the city charter. And I think that Patty can explain them in more detail than I can, but the first 3 questions have to do with clarifying inconsistencies or eliminating inconsistencies in the charter. And the 4th question has to do with the issue that we've been dealing with with the federal census that we know is incorrect. And it, in essence, would allow the council to delay redistricting, waiting for corrected numbers to come from the Census Bureau. If this question is not adopted in November, then the numbers that we have from the Census Bureau as of July 1 are the numbers that you have to use. And we know that they are out of sync by at least 1,000. And it all has to do with Ward 3 and the downtown Ward 6. Yeah.
Yep. Counselor Frankie.
Just as a, to refresh my memory, if we don't pass the amendments, that means we're stuck with the census and have to do the redistricting according to what the latest census was. How does that affect the districts that are being elected this fall?
If I understand the question correctly, the count in Ward 3 is short by almost 800, and the count in Ward 6 is short by 150 or a little bit more than 150. So it would create a serious problem with redistricting regarding Ward 3. Not so much with Ward 6, but it would have a ripple effect through several other wards.
Can we get Patty in here?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. The city manager spoke to how the ward lines would be impacted, but as far as the election for this November, the caucuses that take place this summer will be based on the current ward lines because they haven't been redrawn, and those seats will be elected based on the current ward lines. And then after the election, we will redistrict. The question is whether we will draw the lines based on the inaccurate numbers, should this charter amendment not pass, or the amended numbers if the charter amendment does pass. So it really doesn't impact the upcoming election. Those folks that are elected will be in their seats for the entire term to which they're elected. And if they happen to be drawn out of their district during the redistricting, they still retain their seat until their term is up.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yeah.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yep.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Moving on to ordinance 164, 2022.
Resolution.
Resolution.
Oh, yeah, resolution, not order.
Adoption of the Conflict of Interest Policy for Local Fiscal Recovery Fund Projects.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Steve, can you tell us about this?
This has to do with what we all refer to as Arpa Funds, and it's a conflict of interest policy that's required by the federal government to be adopted at the local level to ensure that anyone who's involved in making decisions about the use of Arpa funds or handling the Arpa funds does not work themselves into a conflict of interest position. It's necessary.
All right. Any questions? Go ahead.
So who would potentially have a conflict of interest under these guidelines?
It's possible that you as counselors might have a conflict. It could be any of our financial staff or administrative staff that are in a position to approve expenditures. It's very similar to our conflict of interest policy that we have in the ethics ordinance. It's just that the federal government says you must use our wording.
And I got a question. So what about if we already voted and we did have a conflict of interest?
Microphone, please.
Sorry. So what about if we already voted on it and we had a conflict of interest? So doesn't it go effect after this adoption?
That's an interesting question. Did you already vote on something that you have a conflict in?
I mean, at the moment, it didn't feel like a conflict of interest, but right now, I mean, the way it's the parent ambassador, because the funds were for the parent ambassador, but I'm part of that, and those funds come to the.
It's not that
They-
nature of conflict.
Oh, okay.
Also, they weren't ARPA funds.
Okay.
It was the ARPA committee that assigned that recommended the funds, but the funds came from the city's general fund.
Okay.
And the ARPA committee itself is insulated from this because their authority is only to recommend to the council.
Okay.
And this has to do with personal gain as a result of a decision that you're party to.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Hey, yeah.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes, sir.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Moving on to ordinance 165, 2022.
Amend the comprehensive plan review ordinance.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Steve, you're a busy one today.
This, and Patty can back me up on this also, this action clarifies what you might, well, it corrects what you might call an administrative error, because between the first reading and the second reading, we had given you 2 different timeframes for when the Comprehensive Plan Review Commission's report was due, and we need to just correct that, so this is the correction.
And the correction is
24 months.
24 months instead of 12?
Yes.
They gave us some more time? Wow. All right. Any other questions? Can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Moving on to ordinance 166, 2022.
Amend the airport ordinance to remove the airport advisory board.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Steve?
This is follow-through that was picked up in the proofreading for the online code publishing that we're working on. The council, in adopting the ad hoc committee's ordinance, eliminated the Airport Advisory Committee, and this is follow-through, you might say.
All right. Any other questions? Or any questions? Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
That was a yes, I'm sorry.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Moving on to ordinance 167, 2022.
Amend the streets and sidewalk ordinance to remove Article 4, streetlights.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Steve?
This streetlight section and the streetlight committee, let's call it, haven't been operational for many years. It's no longer necessary.
All right. Any questions? Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Absolutely.
Counselor Frankie?
yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Mayor, I'd like to note that at 7:43. Oh, you're killing me.
Moving on to resolution 168, 2022.
Appoint a public health officer.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Steve?
Where did 168 come from?
Second and last
This
one.
explanation will only take 20 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The MMA continues to ask us who our local health officer is. We've used our code enforcement officer to fill that role of late, and that requires an appointment by the council. That's what we're asking you to do tonight, but we will be coming back at a later date with the name of either an organization or a person to better fill the role so that we have an active and qualified local health officer.
Question. So how much longer do you think that you're gonna take to get another person? I mean, another name?
I would say probably 3 months.
It's reasonable. He's been
Yeah.
doing it for now, so.
Yeah.
The local health officer is supposed to be qualified by education and experience. Our local health officer in the code enforcement department is qualified by virtue of going through the online certification class with the Department of Public Health, which doesn't meet that standard, but it's the best we can do right now.
All right. Sarah, can I get a roll call?
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yes.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Foss?
Yes.
Counselor Frankie?
Yes,
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Do we have any public people up for public comments? Anna? Anybody online? All right.
I'm Anna Holdener. I'm with the South End Neighborhood Association, and we are very pleased to announce that our South End Festival is back this year. We'll be having it on Tuesday, August 2nd, down at Green Street Park from 5 to 7. It's going to look a little different than it has in years past, but we're just very excited that it's coming together so quickly and smoothly, and we're going to be able to offer a great night out for the community. So we hope you'll all join us, even though it's a council meeting night. But note the time, 5 to 7 p.m., so you can come and hang and then go to the meeting. Just saying.
Is there food?
Yes. So one of the local churches is actually providing the food with their food cart. We've got some school kinds of giveaways, activities, games. There should be a bounce house, popcorn, snow cones, ice cream, music. Just a grand old time.
All right.
That's exciting.
Yeah. See you there.
Any other public comments? All right, counselor comments. Counselor Green.
Actually, there was one public comment that came through email from one of my constituents, so I just wanted to have that answered. It had to do with the new study in downtown and asking about the timeline and the goals, I think particularly to do with parking. So,
I'll be meeting Thursday with representatives from Colby College to talk about how to get this project started. The timeline on the entire project is 9 months. The list of tasks involved in the project does include parking, as well as another one for traffic movement in the downtown area. I have committed to the library board chair that I will emphasize and prioritize parking in relation to the library so that we can get that resolved as quickly as possible. And beyond that, I can't pin down an exact timeline. Hopefully, we can get that dealt with early.
okay, thank you. I know they've been working very hard at the library to try to find a parking solution, so hopefully we'll have one at the end of that period.
I hope we have them before the end
Or
of that
before.
period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent a significant amount of time with Cindy Jacobs down at the library
Same.
the other day, trying to think about that problem. I have some thoughts for sure. We had a productive conversation. I would like to see Appleton not close personally, but I think there is a solution.
I heard some of your thoughts, and I think the one makes a heck of a lot of sense. So,
I think so too. I think that's the right way to do it.
no, I
We
agree.
can talk about it.
I think that, you know, I think Cindy had hoped that maybe a solution might be found before the construction season ends, and since that's not possible, it does give us some time to use the study and the experts there to help us come up with a solution. But yes, I agree. If we,
And I'm hoping we can, in the meantime, even if we can't for the whole construction season, find some sort of temporary solution
Right.
to make sure that they're able to have parking out there.
yeah,
But it's crazy down there. Have you guys been down there? The
Yeah.
parking situation?
Claude?
I had a little speech prepared that ran about an hour and a half talking about how great it was to have Rick be such a good participant on the council and how much we miss him. But I've misplaced it, so just say we're going to miss you, Rick.
We're not that far.
Oh, God, if you could only follow that up with a brown-tailed moth for about 2 hours, Tom, could you get that done?
No.
No problem. No problem. Can I share screen? If I can, then I can really get going here.
All of a sudden, our screen broke. So, Rick's leaving. I tried to find you a little ambulance, and I couldn't. Not like, even with the fire department, nobody had a little ambulance for you. So, and Bill Lee says that we can't annex Winslow, so it doesn't work.
What?
Oh, yeah. I asked. I mean, if Russia can do it, we can try. So we got you.
Rick, you're gonna have to get on the council
Waterville
over there.
Drive.
and-
Get that one on camera for us.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
yes.
All right. Can I? Anything else? Anybody?
It was a pleasure working with Rick. Since day one, it's always been a pleasure. We agree to disagree, but I think a lot of times it's you. I don't know, something about you. Like we could always come to an agreement, and that's why I really appreciate that about you.
Thank you.
It's called finding middle ground.
Yes, he's
Right.
good at that.
What,
I just want to
what's
add.
clear to me?
Oh.
Rebecca, go.
We all
yeah,
have
please.
something to say here, but I'd also just like to thank you, Rick, for your, for really keeping us on our toes and thinking about our decisions, and also advocating for conversation in amongst ourselves and in the community. I think that's one of the things I'll remember you for, so, as well as your love of Waterville. So I hope you take a little bit of that with you into Winslow.
Got it right here.
There's a piece of Waterville in Winslow now.
We're all going to have to work much harder now that you're leaving us, Rick. I've always really been impressed with how on top of it you are. That's admirable. It's very admirable.
Thank you.
Steve wants to say one more thing.
Rick, I'd like to thank you also, primarily for your directness, your brevity, and your follow-through. We've had a good relationship. We've been able to get some things done together, and it's been a pleasure. Going to miss you.
We'll miss you guys too. Somebody asked me the other day what I thought of the last 2.5 years. It doesn't, I mean, sometimes it feels longer, sometimes it feels shorter, but, you know, what did we get done in 2.5 years? Or what happened on this council while I was here? And they asked me if I had any regrets, and I don't. I don't have any regrets. I was born into a papermaker, unionized family that was Democrat, so I knew the platform. I was raised Democrat. I was Democrat, and I've said it out loud that I voted for Obama the first time around because I was done with endless wars. Being a vet, I don't want my boys over there overseas in the sandbox any more than they have to be. So getting in, before I got into politics, I was always the one on the couch going, geez, I wish somebody would do something. I wish somebody would do something. And I did something. And I went out and I understood both party platforms, what was right for the people. And I told my constituents that sometimes I was going to vote not the way they wanted me to, because it's the right thing to do, not because it's the popular thing to do. Would I have loved to have been flat taxed all the way across the 3 years? Yep. But you know what? I think that what we've done in the last 3 years is a great thing, a great service to the people of Waterville, and that's really, at the end of the day, what matters. So, thank you for the opportunity, Ward 5, first of all. Thank you to all the citizens of Waterville for allowing me to sit here, and it's been fun. Sometimes I've pulled some of the hair out of my head. Sometimes
What hair?
I've gone, hey, I got some. It's right here.
Which one?
That's why I grow this out.
Yeah.
But it's been a blast. Thank you very much, and look forward to watching you guys grow from the other side of the river and in the woods. And with that,
I'll let you take us out.
that's a motion to adjourn.
Okay.